Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stay Gamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at another beautiful ship from the Steam Workshop. Now, this is the Orion by Dr. Dark, and it's a beautiful example of a small ship gone wild. Now, if you don't know what a small ship gone wild, it's basically the concept of a ship using smaller blocks to create a larger type vessel. And this just allows you to create some amazing detailing in various different areas, as well as building a really nice interior. Anyway, let's move to the front of the ship. We'll take a look around the exterior and then we'll pop inside to look at that beautifully detailed interior as well. So the first thing you notice about this ship, it has this sharp, aggressive point towards the front of the ship that slopes down, but you can see it's quite square on the bottom. And what I really do like about these is this interesting sort of squared red area. I'm not too sure what these are really used for, or what particular aspect of the ship, but the just detailing aspect of them is just pretty cool. It's something unusual and it catches your eye. So you can see we've got the battery banks in various areas as well, tucked inside here. A lovely bit of detailing in there, sort of triangular frame, making it look a little bit more reinforced. And we've got solar panels along the bottom of the ship there, connecting between the two battery banks. Now, this lower sort of solar area, kind of imagine it to be some sort of solar battery pack that's attached to the bottom of the ship and is used to store all the solar energy. And just by looking at that, that's what's great about this creation, is you can look at a few areas and kind of visualize what they for, but then there's other sorts of intricate areas. You can see how he's actually clipped the med bay through the wall to create a little bit more detail in, where you just can't work out exactly what the robust sort of function of it is, but it looks cool, and that's the important part as we know about our design. So as we come up onto this top area, you can see we've got these two little drop-off connectors on either side, as well as this very sort of Star Wars-esque, it's got a lot of piping going on the outside, and that's what I always call a Star Wars-esque design. They always tend to do that in a lot of their models and builds. So you can see, as we go into this area, we've got the colour-coded connectors connecting up to the drop-off point, the connector point, as well as a merge block, so another ship can connect as well. Just really cool indeed, as well as this area here. So these little piping areas that they've created just using the standard blocks with the round curved corners on the side are just another great way of creating alternative type pipe to connectors as well. Obviously they don't work, they don't do anything, but it creates that level of detail. Now, dropping a little bit lower down, you can see that this is actually clipped through to the interior wall here with this paint scheme, but that's because he's trying to cram so much detail into the ship as possible. So as we work into this rear area, we're going to the external engine bay, and just look at this sharp point that he's put on it. Whoa, ooh, I love it. So you can see as we come into here, we've actually got the iron thrusters tucked away into that side sort of housing, and we've got this HEX symbol glowing in red down the side. You can just see how he's done that, and he's also created these sort of hydrogen thrusters. I think there's hydrogen. Are these hydrogen? Yes, they are. So you can see the hydrogen thrusters are actually behind here as well in their own little housing. Very nice indeed. And at the back we've got some more iron thrusters there as well. So them hydrogen thrusters don't allow us really to get down to the planets. So let's just have a look at the top before we go down to the bottom. So you can see in this rear area, once again, he's interlaced these triangles. In this case it's the diamond pattern, and he's put some more solar panels on the back there. What I also quite like is this particular area as well. So you can see it's like a smaller housing that shrinks in, almost like an access way if you wanted to do some maintenance on these reactors in this area. Obviously you'd have to come outside the ship, that could be quite dangerous, but still quite cool. So two more merge blocks on the back, and as we slope into this section, you see we've got these semi-constructed areas that looks like a sort of toolbox. So maybe you're working on something else and you've got your various supplies there to do so as well. Going a little bit further down, we have the airlock system. Now, for the love of God, I can't get this thing to actually work. But apparently, you sit in this chair, and it transitions you over to this side using a little bit of a glitch through the wall. So now that we're inside, you can see the detailing has already began with the various conveyors. Obviously, these ones are not too functional, but they're adding to the level of detail. So as we go into this area itself, just look how cool the particular area is. Now, I believe this is either the teleporter or the cryostasis sort of bed, so you can imagine sleeping in these particular areas. But this is exactly what you can do with using the small ship blocks and designing a bigger ship. You can just create a really well flushed out interior. So as we enter into this next area, you can see it's a little bit darker. We've got that under area, the floor lit there, And we've got this control terminal in the center, just absolutely lovely. And with the new lighting effects, it's great as well. So we've got a little workstation going on here as well, with a warhead, a cargo container, and a few other bits spare. Now just look at this room. Look at the level of detail gone into here. So on the left, we've got another little storage bin. We've got these little lights that are tucked under each individual section. Should we go up or down first? So you can see also he's got the Hex Corp since 2017 sign there. So let's actually venture into the lower deck. So this is almost like a little bit of an office area. So you can imagine sitting in there as we lead into the med bay as well as some of the housing areas. So there's the med bay itself tucked away. You can see he's added detail to the med bay by clipping the smaller blocks through that larger block. Very nice work indeed, as well as a table that is lovely and floating. There's a little bit of detail there above as well. Here we've got the bedrooms for the med bay for various sick people, or maybe just crew members who need a nap. So coming into the back area, I'm going to actually spawn my character in here as well, so you can actually just get a grip of the scale of this. So you can see just how large I actually am in the environment. It feels to scale, and that's one of them important factors of building a small ship sort of gone wild. So let's actually continue walking down here. So we've actually got ourselves this lower deck. We've got a little bit of a music studio going on, another storage area. You can rock out there if you want in that area. Another really nice detailed floor area. You've just got these various little, this is some sort of workshop perhaps. Oh no, it's maybe even a kitchen for building various components. Just look at these corridors. There's something about sci-fi environments where if you build corridors correctly, you're just on for a winner. I really do like this staircase, how it just kind of leads down and wraps around. So let's go back down into the orange sector and have a look what's on the other side here. So that's just kind of like a fake door leading into that section, but we'll continue up and we'll go back up and around the staircase so we can have a look at more of the detailing area. So back past the med bay, cryo bay to the right, and up the stairs. So as we go up the stairs, we're greeted by the vidicon, so some sort of communications. I like the idea of that though. It's just beautiful what you can do if you have enough time, enough sort of creativity, because each one of these little blocks has been precisely placed probably hundreds of times trying to work out what looks great. So as we come into this particular area here, we've got ourselves like a kind of command console area, maybe even the pilot's actual direction seat or command center. Really nice. Two of these little consoles. All they are is computers that have been flipped up and rotated around, but if they're done correctly, you just create so much detail from that. So obviously from this area we've got a staircase down, but we'll go around to the right and we actually enter into the proper command center. Look at this. Look at the detail going on in each one of these segments. The amount of buttons that are covering the ceiling alone is mad. You've got various sort of flight seats. You've got dangerous areas to work in. Look at the red lighting. And then you've got this area here as well at the front. Really nice. I just like the amount of buttons that are on the ceiling, to be honest. You can have a ship without too many buttons. So let's head downstairs. If we pop down into this segment, we're actually introduced to this front area that is quite detailed. We've got ourselves the bathroom over here in this section. As we tuck around here, you've got these little fake windows going on, but it really does feel like you are in a spaceship. You get the right vibe. You don't feel like you're in someone's mansion or you're in a space station. There we go. We've got movie night, like a little home cinema built into the place. Maybe a little bar area going on over here. But it's amazing how much stuff you can fit into one of these small ship blocks. And here we go. We've got ourselves a little bit of a crew quarters. 4 bunks there of various crew members indeed. Just a beautiful little creation. Let's attempt to pilot this thing. So we're going to head up the stairs and we're going to go into the cockpit area. We'll spawn our character in up here and we'll just see how this guy responds. So there we go. Have we got ourselves power? Yes, we do. Okay, let's have a look at our acceleration. So very slow acceleration as I expected for a ship of this size with that amount of thrusters. But our maneuverability is not too bad at all. I mean, we're going up in speed extremely slowly. I'm guessing we stop even slower as well. Yes, you pretty much done a stop at the same rate as some sort of oil rig here. But the maneuverability left and right is not too bad at all. A very beautiful ship overall, and I'd really love to see some more sort of small ships gone wild on the workshop. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you want to check the ship out for yourself, there'll be a link to it in the description below. Click on that, it'll take you over, subscribe to this, and check it out. Walk through the corridors of this ship and just see how much effort has gone into designing each element of it. Anyway, let's thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.